Cool. Hey, this is Scott here with Abundance Coaching TV, and I'm just here with my buddy Lhiam.
Yeah.
So you have a really inspiring story, and there's a lot of change that's happened in your life, eh?
There has been.
With some major milestones as well, with just transitions and, where your life is headed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, just maybe talk a little bit about just, where were you at maybe like a year ago or, when we first started meeting?
Yeah, sure. I first came across you January 2016. At that stage, I was just really looking for some coaching, and I thought I'd get in touch and see what it was about. So try to understand it. At that point in time, things were a little bit. Life was fine, but things could be better. There's always opportunity to make better of things, and so that's what I started looking for, and I started wanting to understand more about myself and what I could do to make those changes.
That's great.
So at that particular point in time, I'd been in a new role for about 6 months, was looking to get a promotion, struggling on the relationship side at that time, and decided to reach out. I started to realise very quickly what I actually valued, I think, in my life, and I realised that, I'd probably been doing what I've been doing almost in a robotic fashion. I was almost on a process drive. You do one task, you do 2 tasks, you do 3 tasks, and you just live a life without actually thinking consciously what it is and making conscious decisions.
Right.
When I first started with Scott, he introduced me to some pillars that he talked about, spiritual pillars, health pillars, career pillars, relationship pillars, and he explained that we would be working through those and understanding each one better, and understanding how each one worked for you better. So when we initially started, he put me on to these online programs that he created, and they really helped define for myself values that I probably knew instinctively, but couldn't necessarily enunciate as clearly as they came. And once that, for me, was the point when things really started to line up and make a lot of sense, and I really enjoyed that process of understanding what values underpinned me. None of these things were surprises, I guess, at the end of the day, but they were things that I wasn't so clear about in my mind. And from that point onwards, being able to act clearly and succinctly define what my values were to me and what I valued in life, both personally, professionally, was a huge process of change. It started a real good process of change for me, and I was able to really start to focus on those things that meant a lot to me. And that really assisted at both a professional and a personal level in my life, and I was able to really start honing in on those points in my life that I wanted to really amplify, and those areas that I wanted to improve and work on, and that really gave me the catalyst to start the journey. As we sort of continued through, Scott then introduced me to life languages, and for me this was another real turning point for me. These life languages were not designed as a personality test or anything like that. These were they were communication. They were means of communication, and it helped me understand the way I communicated, but also how others communicated. I was probably a little bit lost in terms of what I valued, what I wanted out of life. As I said, I've always been very goal orientated, so I, out of school, straight to uni, straight into a job, career. On paper, it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
And look, I'm very proud of what I've achieved. but when I came to Scott initially and sat down with him for the first session, it was about trying to understand what I was looking for in life, and I think that's now something that is, and Scott's obviously helped immensely in terms of giving a framework, I guess. Not giving the answers, but giving a framework. The answers are within me, but I needed a framework to help pull those answers out. And it was as we were going through those languages that I then really started to piece together a more accurate and clearer picture in my head of who I wanted to be and where I wanted to go. And then that really helped, again, both personally and professionally, to really help refine my character. Because then I could really hone in and focus on those things that were important because I understood them better. And I think that's, if I could say one thing about this whole process, it's understanding. And I think that's the best part. That's one of the key points of taking away from this coaching. It's understanding, it's understanding myself, it's understanding others, it's understanding the way in which we interact. And that was something that I had taken away from this whole process. And once I started to get on top of those things and understand them better, that's when things started to change for me. I really have to say that a lot of that has come down to, me being able to really sit down and with the help of Scott, looking through these, looking at my life and understanding it better and really working on it and actually investing some time in myself in a way that I understood. I think that's something that I struggled with understanding, was how you invest the time in yourself in a way as like you would a job or a career or an investment. I didn't really understand how to do that, and Scott's helped put together a framework for me that I understand from my perspective, and it's through that I've been able to invest in myself and where I've come to today. For me, where I need that breakthrough is in getting out of the everyday, and starting to make decisions that are for me and for my own personal betterment. And that's where I'm looking to achieve that breakthrough.
What do you feel are maybe the key performance indicators in coaching that relate to your business?
That's a really interesting question, because I think that there's a lot of them, but I think if I could break it down, I would say it comes back to communication. It comes back to understanding not just your value, but how you are valuable in the professional sense, in your organisation. How can you contribute in a better way and a more constructive way, and also then how you gain the attention of people to work together, but work in a way that is constructive for all involved. I think it's understanding that this doesn't have to just be about you. It can be about others as well, but indirectly or directly, it actually impacts you. So